Welcome back to Radiga and to the final of the mixed team sprint. Good to have you with us as we continue the 29th Winter Universiade from Krasnoyarsk in central Siberia, and the stands pretty full for this one. The locals especially hoping that the Russian Federation might bring them another victory. Very good chance. They've got both their teams in the final. Finland and Italy also have two teams in the final, which comprises 10 teams altogether. And the 10 fastest qualifiers out of the two semi-finals have made it through, rather than 5 from each, which we were initially led to believe would be the case. It was actually the 10 fastest qualifiers, and in fact only 3 teams made it through from the second semi. Here's the work being done again in the wax room. Multiple pairs of skis prepared, and the work seemingly never stops in this place. Strong arms and a good back. And an understanding of the weird science of waxing skis is necessary.
The Canadians are silly.
And it's -2, but with a breeze. Feels a little cooler than that, I can tell you, outside. The wind direction from the southwest, around 3 meters per second. It's an overcast day, but still no sign of snow. I don't think we're going to get any to change the conditions as they appear to you now. And the #1 Russian team were indeed the quickest qualifiers in 22:40. Czech Republic, Russia 2, Finland, Italy, Kazakhstan 1, Italy, Switzerland, Japan and Finland. So there are your 10 qualifiers, and it would seem that Terentev and Matsokina, maybe they've got it between them, but the Czech Republic won't be far behind. Sobakarev and Nekrasheva, their time was about 35 seconds slower than the #1 Russian team. Tcherny and Hintsitsova must be a chance, but Cerny's going to have to ski 3 laps the like of which he's not skied before, I think. Mozzolini of Italy will take it out first for Italy, and there's Juuno from the first of the Finnish team. Finland doing well to get both their teams in the final. Finland 2, the 10th fastest through. So they're going to start in 2 rows of 5. And we're close to a start. Mixed team sprint final as the time ticks up towards midday in Krasnoyarsk. Away we go. And for the Russian Federation in Team 1, it's Alexander Terentiev, and their second team is led off by Andrei Sobakarev. So they are in the 2 red strips. And the Italian teams are in kind of olive green. We'll talk you through the field as they make their way around what will be 6 laps in all, 3 for the men, 3 for the women. There were no real dramas in the exchange area through the semi-finals, which was great to see. The Russian Federation keen to lead it and to dominate, and perhaps ski as a mini team of their own. The 2 of them going out now, Terentiev and Sobakarev. Off to the left there, 8 and 13 are the 2 teams from Switzerland and Finland. Kazakhstan led off by Ivan Lyuft. Well, so the Russian Federation just still settling into first and second there. Waiting for the first changeover. There is a gathering of the 10 women looking for the second lap. Russia hoping to hand over first and second. 10 there is Juuso Markkela. 13, beg your pardon, is Finland. We've got start positions and bib numbers, and I was crossing them over in my mind there for a moment. In Team 8 is Finland, and 13, 8 and 13. And Kazakhstan is team number 10. They're just settling in there. Ivan Lyuft behind the Russians. There's Terentiev. Just opens up a little bit of a lead here, and Kazakhstan chasing them down the descent into the arena. Russia 1 and 3, and look at the difference in the running speed of the skis. This has been a feature of the racing today in both semi-finals. The Russian skis seem to have a deeper and finer understanding of the snow conditions, and they've got their skis waxed very well. So Russia 1 and 2 will be first to hand over. Italy 2 there will be represented by Martina Bellini. And team number 23, she's just on the left of screen there. And team 11 also is Italy. That will be Francesca Franchi. And the first exchange finds Russia 2 just ahead of Russia 1 by half a second. The top 7 all in it, but Finland and the Czech Republic, Finland 2 and Czech Republic off the pace a bit. So a slow first lap skied by Cherny. And he's left his teammate Petra Insitseva with a lot to do. So Switzerland towards the back there. It's Leah Fischer in team bib number 7. It's absolutely frantic in that ski change and wax area. So it's really been cut down to a group of 8 on this second lap of the final. Crossing the left there, team 11, it's Francesca Franchi of Italy, and she just takes over the lead for the moment from the 2 Russian skiers in Ristina Matsukina on the right of the picture. And Russia 2 is in bib number 1, which is just a little confusing for us all. It's Polina Nekrasheva. Franchi wants to put Italy in contention. They've been knocking on the door of a medal in a number of events, and Franchi is going to give her team the best possible chance here. Franchi complimented in this race by Simone Mozzolini, and he just struggles to keep pace with the likes of Terentev and Sobakarev. So Franchi the quicker of the 2 comparatively against the other women. And Nekrasheva on the right there. Team 10 is Kazakhstan, Elmira Utagarova. And Alexander Terentev just goes off for a little jog, leaves his skis there. Someone will be keeping an eye on them for him, I'm sure. Don't want anybody messing with your equipment. As Francesca Franchi continues to lead on this second lap of the team sprint final. It's not a long break for them to just gather themselves, but they're used to this format, even though it's a fairly recent addition to the international list of events. But these mixed relays are good fun, bringing the men and women athletes together, racing as teams. As Franchi just sits ahead of Matsukina. And Nekrasheva. Kazakhstan there also with Mutagarova. And as Lilinpera, Katri Lilinpera has made a big move for Finland on the left of your screen there. After the first lap skied by Joona Saarinen, she's made up a lot of ground. And she's moved to the front. Franchi now back to 4th with the 2 Russians in between. And Katri Lilinpera has swept to the front to give Finland a real chance here. This is the Finland number 1 team. Their second team towards the rear of the field. But Finland coming through. And just half a second lead over the first Russian team. Then Russia 2, Italy 1, then the Czech Republic. So a good second leg skied as expected by Petra Hintsetsova. She's going to have to play catch up after each exchange, it would seem. So looking for a gap there. The 9th and 10th teams, Japan 1 and Kazakhstan 1, about 5.5 seconds behind the leaders. So still in touch, but wouldn't want to lose any more seconds on this third leg. Time for the women to just have a little bit of a rest, but stay warm. A gentle jog or a walk around the area near the ski preparation zone. And it is Joona Saarinen, just for the moment, holding off Terentev and Sobakarev. Terentev in second, Sobakarev third at the moment for the 2 Russian teams. 2 Italians skiing quite close together in the green outfits. And Kazakhstan through Ivan Luft, trying to force his way through the field again. And he'd be sitting in 5th position at the moment. Now a little bit of a move made by Tarentev as he comes up and now passes Finland's Saarinen. Tarentev in bib number 2 for the Russian Federation. They were the fastest qualifiers in 22:40. Czech Republic 22:45. The second Russian team was well down on the lead Russian team by some 30 seconds, 23:17 in their semi-final. And Saarinen is not letting go of Tarentev. Goes up beside his shoulder once more. Russia first and third, Finland there. So too Simone Mozzolini of Italy. He's had a good junior career. Won a sprint over 1.8 kilometres in February last year in Zweisel. Down into the stadium once more. They ski on the diagonal towards the big screen, straighten up towards the far end of the stadium and then make a left-hand turn in front of the main grandstand. And suddenly the Russians have made their move. Tarentev and Sobarakev have moved past Finland's Saarinen. Crowd likes the look of that. Russia 1-2. Then Finland and Italy. Here's the changeover area. So Russia 1 and 2, then Finland, then Italy 1 and 2, then Kazakhstan, Japan and Finland number 2, followed by Switzerland and the Czech Republic. Well, it's a very interesting trend in this race with the Czech Republic. It's obvious that Ondrej Černý, the male half of the team, is struggling to keep pace. And he's asking too much, I think, of Petra Hintsetsova to push the Czechs into contention. She'll do her best, but she's a long way back now. They made the changeover 12.5 seconds down on Russia. Fourth lap. Very interesting now to watch whether Katri Lindberg has another fast circuit in her. The number 1 Finnish team is wearing bib number 8 and she's in 3rd position now. Has to be the Swiss team, looking at the little face paint on the two boys there. Russia 1 and 2, and the number 1 Finland team, and then both the Italians filling the top 5 positions at the moment. Italy won. Mozzolini and Franchi went around in just 6 seconds slower than the top Russian team. There's a chat happening between Tarentev and Sobarakev. They'd like to manufacture a 1-2 for the Russian Federation. In fact, on days 1 and 2 of competition in the cross country, it was a Russian parade, really. A women's 5K and men's 10K classic. Gold, silver and bronze to Russia. Then in the pursuit, gold, silver and bronze to Russia. Had to wait until the women's sprint for Petra Hintsetsova to upset the apple cart, and a victory for her. Russia looking for their 6th gold medal today. And they're in prime position to get that done. They're holding down 1st and 2nd here, and Lindberg for Finland, and then Franchi for Italy. Lots of pressure on the shoulders of Jonas Saarinen for Finland here. He realises he's a chance for a medal here if he can put in another good lap and hand it back across to Lindberg and see if she can tag herself onto the Russians, as she's doing right now. Here they come. Doesn't take long, does it? There's just 1.5 kilometres out on course. And the Russian boys have got time for a chat and a little discussion of tactics for what will be the second last lap for them. And making a bit of an effort now is Saarinen. Really, he hasn't got room, I don't think, to step across to the inside. Yes, he does. He charges over. So Lilinpera. It is Saarinen waiting. Lilinpera steps across in front of the other two. And Saarinen just gives her a wave and says, here I am, come through and find me. And she charges through the two Russians. It's pretty bold. And out they go once more. So Saarinen for Finland. And the lead is nothing, really, less than a second over the two Russian teams. So it's Saarinen from Sabakarev and Terentev, and then Mozzolini of Italy. Finland, Russia, Russia, Italy. So this is the penultimate lap. A little bit of a move there coming from Terentev on the inside of Saarinen. And Terentev takes the lead. Going to test the legs of Saarinen, see if he can go with the two Russian boys. Terentev leading now from Sabakarev, then Saarinen, then Mozzolini. Russia saying, let's go. And Saarinen is struggling to go with them, so too Mozzolini. Is this the defining moment of the final? Well, suddenly that lead is substantial. Saarinen's got to find something in his wearying legs, but look at this pace being established by Terentev and Sabakarev. And the waiting skiers in the arena can see what's happening. Although now as the picture shifts to what's happening in that ski area, the preparation area, they don't know, but they do know now that it is Sabakarev and Terentev. Terentev just having a little bit of trouble with traction, I think, there. And he has to settle in behind Sabakarev for the moment. We know their skis are running well on the downhill sections. Maybe just not quite so sound on the grip in the middle of the ski in this classic style. But they are working really hard. They have not let up in this fifth lap. And that's quite a lead that they now have over Saarinen. And the crowd is delighted to see them come into the stadium in this position. Russia side by side. Terentev and Sabakarev. Terentev to hand over to Kristina Matsukina. Sabakarev's partner is Polina Nekrasheva. And in they come. And they've got a lead of close to 100 metres now over Finland. So Russia 1 and 2. And it's actually Matsukina who will lead it out for Russia, ahead of Nekrasheva. And on form, I think Matsukina should be able to hold off her teammate. And it's a long way back to Lilinpera, who's skied very well for Finland, but that gap is surely too big even for Katri to close. The gap was 12 seconds between the Russians and Finland. Another 4 seconds back to Italy. So still a good chance for a fight for the bronze medal between Finland 1 and Italy 1. And Francesca Franchi, very good skier for Italy, and she'll be chasing Lilinpera. It is Matsokina who's established a 5-metre lead now over her teammate Nekrasheva. This is as expected, because Tarentev and Matsokina were the quicker combination in qualifying. The Russian boys, Tarentev and Sabakarev, congratulate each other on the effort they've given. And I think it'll be gold and silver to the Russian Federation. And it's looking like it'll be Tarentev and Matsokina, because Orestina Matsokina is stretching this lead of Nekrasheva. Nekrasheva can't go with her, and then it's a long way back to Katri Lilinpera and Francesca Franchi of Finland and Italy, respectively. So I think we've got our place getters pretty much settled. Russia, 1, 2. Finland or Italy, 3rd. Just looks to have an easier rhythm about her method, does Orestina Matsokina, leading and continuing to increase the margin of Nekrasheva, who's a very good sprinter, but this 3rd lap in quick time, well, just starting to sort out her endurance, I think. Matsokina seems to have plenty left. And Nekrasheva should have enough of a margin to hold off Lilinpera, but she is closing, and Franchi has Lilinpera in her sights. That'll be the battle for 3rd between these two, Finland and Italy. It's only 4 seconds in it. Not a lot of time, though, for Franchi to close that gap with Lilinpera. But we're into the stadium now with Orestina Matsokina, and the crowd is delighted to see her in front. And they'll be pleased also to see Nekrasheva come in 2nd place. So the 2 Russian teams filling the top 2 spaces. Only allowed 2 teams to enter the competition. They've got them both through to the final, and they're going to be on the podium in the expected order. Even if the 2nd Russian team wasn't the 2nd fastest qualifier, they've got plenty left for the final, as Nekrasheva makes this last turn into the home straight. But she will trail in Orestina Matsokina, who's only got 50 metres to ski now. She looks over the shoulder to see how far back Nekrasheva is. She can stand up now and ease into the line. And Tarentev comes out to congratulate her. Oh, wonderful moment for those two. Also for Sabakarev, as he will greet Nekrasheva. 2nd. And Finland, will we get 3rd? Yes, they do. And they are delighted with that. Sarkinen and Lilinpera. Russia 1, 2. Finland 3rd, Italy 4th. All done in 18 minutes, 7 seconds, 0.52 for Russia 1.
No.
Oh, thanks.
Mozzolini and Franchi. Good race into 4th position for the Italians. 22:11, let me correct the time. 22 minutes 11:37 and 22:22, so 10 seconds the margin between Russia 1 and 2 as our screens are updated for the final margins. 22:11 for Russia 1. So Kazakhstan finishing 126 behind the leaders. The Czech Republic finishing 8th, Switzerland 9th, Kazakhstan 10th.
Thank you. in finals now.
A few flowers being distributed. And more flowers to come. We'll have the flower ceremony in a few minutes from now with Russia 1 and 2 and Finland to feature in that. So just reconfirming the time of 22:11:37. So that is almost 30 seconds quicker than the qualifying time of the fastest Russian team. So they pushed it even harder in the final, as you might expect. Terentev and Matsokina. He's taking off the anklets that allow us to see the time across the various intervals through the race. Russia 1. Terentev and Matsikina. From Russia 2, Sabakorev and Nekrasheva. And Finland 1, Sakinen and Lilinpera. They are your place getters, or major place getters, in the mixed team sprint final. Team at the venue here will be setting up for the flower ceremony, which is just a couple of minutes away. I hope you stay for that. And then also the medal ceremony, which will follow in reasonably smart time. Doesn't look to be any reason for the jury to be looking at the way the race was conducted. No incidents there. And so it should be a smooth progression through the two presentations. We'll have them for you in just a few moments at Radega.
Конечно, я хочу поблагодарить наших спортсменов за то, что они сегодня сделали. Этот фурор, который они произвели на стадионе «Радуга». И мы вместе с «Радугой» сейчас все вместе громко подкричим «Молодцы!» 3 раза. Готовы? 3, 4! Еще! Громче! Вот так-то! Вот я вижу уже табличку «Россия, победим, ура!» Видите, какая пророческая табличка оказалась. Россия на пьедестале. Молодцы наши. А я хочу обратиться к другой трибуне. Только что видела у вас хэштег RealWinter. Можете повыше поднять? RealWinter, так, появляется, появляется. Прекрасно. Вот они. Давайте поаплодируем той трибуне, которая подготовилась. Держим, держим. Какой красивый хэштег. Ну что ж, с таким хэштегом, конечно, нельзя забыть о конкурсе Инстаграм. Сейчас сколько улыбки в Международный женский день. Тебе дополнительный подарок. Привет, М. Покровская. Я представляю, что тебя зовут наверняка Маша. Маша, нет? А, все верно. Привет, Маша. Как дела?
Отлично.
Как тебе гонка?
Супер, я обожаю вообще классический стиль, лыжные гонки. Недавно сама пробежала марафон 45 километров в Италии. И поэтому мне это очень классно и классная вообще атмосфера универсиады. Спасибо большое.
Андрей, ты видишь, запомни, М. Покровская, возможно, через несколько лет будешь комментировать и ее лыжные забеги тоже. Как тебе, кстати, наш комментатор?
Отлично вообще, на высшем уровне.
На высшем уровне у нас только так. Ну что ж, мы тебе дарим этот набор почтовых карточек RealWinter. Да, можешь показать на камеру. Официальная символика останется с тобой на память. И не только с тобой. Кому отошлешь первые открытки?
Любимому и маме с папой.
Да, я думаю, любимому будет приятно. Откуда, из какого города ты?
Кузбасс, Кемерово.
Здорово! Вот у нас гость этой универсиады. Специально приехала, получила массу удовольствия, получила подарок. Еще и зарядилась 8 марта отличным настроением. Эти аплодисменты тебе. Еще что-нибудь хочешь сказать?
Я рада находиться на универсиаде. Спасибо большое за теплый прием. Отличного просмотра соревнований. Женщины, с праздником!
Спасибо, Мария, с праздником, дорогие женщины. А теперь посмотрим, как нас поздравят наши мужчины, потому что сейчас я хочу провести перекличку и узнать, сколько у нас милых дам на стадионе, а сколько у нас настоящих мужчин, которые готовы их сегодня поздравить. Итак, мужчины, первое слово вам на 3-4. Вы так дружно. Спокойно, спокойно, еще не было 3-4. Итак, мужчины, 3-4! Вот она, сибирская мужская сила. А теперь девочки, прекраснейшими женскими голосами. На 3-4, на 3-4. 3-4! И еще раз, мальчики! Вот это да, я даже аж мурашки у меня по коже пошли. А теперь девочки! Красавицы наши, с праздником вас! Ну что ж, а теперь самый главный флаг.
It's confirming the placings again for you in the team sprint final. Russia 1 and Russia 2 filling first and second places. Then the number 1 team from Finland. And the flower presentation is not far away. Here we go with the flower ceremony for the mixed team sprint. Pretty exciting racing and a real improvement from the semis across to the final. Russian Federation living up to their favoritism. A remarkably strong effort from the second of the Russian teams when you look at their times, because Russia too improved their time by a minute in moving up to second place.
Technical Committee Chair Zofia Kelpinska. Вице-президент Федерации лыжных гонок России Виктор Логинов, Vice President of the Russian Cross Country Skiing Federation Виктор Логинов. Советник президента Федерации лыжных гонок России Александр Пак. Advisor to the President of the Russian Cross Country Skiing Federation Александр Пак. Третье место. Third place. Team of Finland. Representing Jonas Sarkinen, Katri Lulanpera.
Jonas Sarkinen and Katri Lulanpera. Like the second Russian team, really finding a minute's improvement from semi to final.
Второе место. Second place. Team of Russian Federation, representing Andrei Sabakarev, Polina Nekrasova.
That's Andrei Sabakarev and Polina Nekrasova. Both were bronze medalists in the sprint event. And now they've got silver. Well, they will have shortly. Flowers for the moment, medals soon.
Team of Russian Federation, representing Alexander Terentiev, Kristina Matsokina.
So Terentiev and Matsokina warmly greeted by the crowd, and a little bouquet of local flowers, I'm sure. Спасибо. The word we've all come to know and love for thank you in Russian. So there we have them, the place getters from the two Russian teams and from Finland. Here at Radiga, in a few minutes, we'll have the medal presentation as well.
Dear athletes, judges, coaches and spectators, we would like to invite you for the awarding ceremony starting in few minutes.
Ребятки, у нас следующий конкурс. Еще одна счастливица на подиум. Добро пожаловать. Здравствуйте, здравствуйте, проходите. У нас здесь уютно. Да, очень. Как вас зовут? Ольга. Ольга, смотрите. Ева. О!
Time now for the medals for the mixed team sprint final. Much anticipated moment for the teams from Russia and from Finland.
Медали вручает статс-секретарь, заместитель министра спорта Российской Федерации Наталья Паршикова. The medals will be presented by State Secretary, Deputy Minister of Sport of the Russian Federation Наталья Паршикова. Талисманы вручает член исполнительного комитета ФИСУ Кайрат Закирьянов. The mascots will be presented by FISU Executive Committee member Kairat Zakiryanov. Третье место и бронзовый призер.
These are the first medals for Finland at the cross country.
Team of Finland.
A real team effort from Jonas Sakinen and Katri Lilinpera. Very smart, the Finnish uniforms, aren't they? Finland completing the journey in 22 minutes and 29 seconds. About 17 seconds behind the winning Russian combination and 7 behind the second place getters, Russia 2. Lilinpera made a couple of surges to make sure that Finland were amongst the leaders, and she was well complimented today by Jonas Sakinen.
Второе место и серебряный призер. Second place and silver medalists. Team of Russian Federation. Representing Andrei Sabakarev, Polina Nekrasova.
Andrei Sabakarev and Polina Nekrasova. 22 minutes and 22 seconds was their time. 55 seconds quicker than their semi-final winning time. They just needed some quicker company around them to come up with a quicker time, and they certainly had that in the final. And to some degree, didn't see that coming because there were faster qualifiers than them, other than their Russian teammates. But come the final, they did find the extra effort needed to secure second place.
Победитель Зимней универсиады 2019. The winners of the 29th Winter Universiade Krasnoyarsk 2019. Team of Russian Federation. Representing Alexander Terentiev, Kristina Matsokina.
Terentiev and Matsokina, both medalists in the sprint. Terentiev, the gold medalist in the men's event, and Matsokina, silver in the women's. So there was every reason to expect they'd do well today. They won their semi-final in the quickest time, and they were too good in the final. The number 1 team from Russia taking out the mixed team sprint. Finally, the mascots, Yulaka, the dog. And in a moment, we'll have the Fisu song, Gaudiamos Igiter.
Уважаемые дамы и господа, звучит гимн ФИСУ. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for FISU anthem.
Time for some photos, some celebrations. And Russia just adds to their medal tally. So coming up to today, they had 5 gold, 5 silver and 6 bronze. So that's 6 gold and 6 silver now. And Finland join the list of nations to pick up a medal at the cross country with their bronze in the mixed team sprint. Good racing, exhausting stuff for the athletes. They really had to put in with the format of this race with 3 laps each. But, good racing, good conditions, a little grey and cool, but another fine event at Rodiga.
Сканировав билет на выходе из комплекса, вы можете в любое время вернуться на объект и продолжить просмотр соревнований. Мы будем рады видеть вас снова. Dear fans, your ticket is valid for the whole day of our competitions. If you want to leave the territory of the venue but intend to come back, please scan your ticket at the exit, and we would like to see you during the whole day today. Друзья, буквально вчера в рамках нашего второго соревновательного дня мы видели процесс тренировки синхронного фигурного катания. Сегодня больше эмоций, больше накала страстей, а все потому, что сегодня мы с вами увидим уже соревнования по этому потрясающему